Craft brews and casual conversations in what would probably be one of the more important games in the world of basketball right now, especially in the state of Wisconsin, would be game number 1 of the Milwaukee Bucks playoff round 1, game 1. And Rob says, I'm not going to watch it. And just continues to show the trend, the downward trajectory. I can't say the word, but you know the word I'm trying to say. Just shows the downward trend that Rob is getting further and further away from his roots, doesn't care about the state of Wisconsin anymore. He is now an official Californian, Los Angelian, Burbankian, all around bitch.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening to what you were saying. The LA Kings, I went and saw them play the other day. It was really good, though. What were you talking about? Let's just cue it.
You're about to hear the greatest show of your life.
Dude.
Dudes with brews on a porch with Rob and Drew.
Very disappointed in you, Robert. Can't believe my ears. I can't believe what I'm hearing. You're not watching the Bucks. And it's a good game so far. It is the fourth quarter, 8 minutes and 54 seconds left, going against the Indiana Pacers, who we lost 4 times to out of the 5 games between them. The Bucks won 1 time. They lost to them in the in-season tournament, knocking them out of the in-season tournament. It was very sad. I fucking hate them. I can't stand them. I don't care that Tyrese Halliburton is from a city that's not too far away from our hometown, Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I don't care. And you, of all people, should be sharing this pain, this anger, as we watch them hopefully win the first game. But no, you went and got brunch.
I did go and get brunch.
And it's I'm upset. I'm sad by this. But let's talk about the beer that I'm drinking. I am stepping away from the bourbon aged stuff, and I'm going back to my roots. I am drinking Thoroughbred because that's what I am. I am a Thoroughbred Wisconsin lover, even though this beer is from Minnesota. Anyone who has ever said it's not a race was clearly losing. Ever since our first beer, we've done our best to get ahead and stay ahead in the craft beer game, brewing a wide variety of styles and aggressively trying new things. We think this hazy double IPA is one of our finest yet, made with Galaxy and Nelson hops for a fast start and a strong finish. Sounds like a sure thing to us. Brewed and packaged by Drastic Measures Brewing Company in tiny town Wadena, Minnesota. A small place that packs a lot of great beer. This delicious Thoroughbred. You look at this stuff and my God, is that hazy? Is it thick? It smells great. It's got that little bit of piney smell to it. It's just looking like it's gonna pack the flavors, pack the bitterness. It is, I will tell you what it is as far as alcohol content and bitterness. I'm just going to let you hang for a second. 8% ABV, 55 on the IBUs. Let's give it a taste, shall we? It's got the cloudiness. You can't see through it. Delicious. Looks like an orange juice. My kind of IPA, goddammit. Boy, does that hit the spot. Bitter where it needs to be. Refreshing. I kept it cold. I'm drinking it fresh. I'm enjoying this. I've never been inside of the brewery, Drastic Measures. I've driven by it many a times. I was in Minnesota over the weekend. Unfortunately, Drastic Measures is about, as soon as we get there, that means I have half hour left of driving for my commute. And I've already spent around 7 hours in a car. So I'm really kind of all about getting to the destination when I'm at that point. But I hear it's an amazing place. I've had a good amount of their beer, and it's always delicious. And this is no different. It is good. It is a thoroughbred indeed. Robert, what do you have?
From Highland Park Brewery, I am drinking the Vienna. It's an amber lager. I believe it's 5% ABVs. I don't have much of anything else. My computer is tweaking out right now. Is it because I have my phone set on top of it? I don't know. Do you have a description on there from like Untapped? Because I don't have anything here. I don't think Highland Park does like descriptions too much, do they?
I don't know. You're the expert here because you drink a lot of their beer, which is good. You also don't pay a lot for a lot of their beers. Did you get this one?
Oh,
for free?
This was a gift from Alexis, which was a gift from I think she actually just it's straight from the brewery.
Nice.
Courtesy of Angela, and Angela picked up a 4-pack for Alexis, and Alexis gifted me 2 of these beers.
Nice.
And so no, I did not pay for this one.
Oh, Chris Middleton from downtown just brought up the score, 22 points. Golly, you love to see it. You love to see it. 8 minutes left.
Chris Middleton, who's? You thought for a second.
Vienna is our amber lager that is crushable, crisp, maltiness, bright, and snappy. Clocking in at 5% ABV. You'll be able to throw a few of these back, which is nice. It's nice to see that kind of alcohol content in a craft beer because a lot of times when go ahead.
I've been sticking to these lower ones a little bit.
It's nice because then you can hang, you can be a part of the group, but you're not like compromising your palate, right? You're not giving away and giving in to all this crappy, domestic shit that you normally would in party-like situations. This is one's refreshing. I'm assuming good. It looks great, and it's also the crafty.
It's a good crisp looking lager. It's got a very sweet like smell to it.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, the upfront flavor, I'm not getting too much off of it, but
I mean, is it refreshing?
But it's refreshing, and it actually kicks in after after you swallow. Like I can taste it a little bit more now.
Okay, all right, good to know.
And then on the second sip, it's the sweetness comes through.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a feeling that by the end of the beer, I'll be able to give a pretty good breakdown of
good
what's going on. I also am bad at. You'd think I'd be good at coming up with descriptors and all that stuff, but taste, I'm really not good with the old.
It can be difficult. It can be difficult to do sometimes. Like it's like, how do you describe
We're 5,
a lager?
6 years in.
How do you describe a lager to somebody that's never had one before? It's like, well, you kind of got to have one.
I'm assuming that. Since our show is primarily for children, it's really difficult.
Right.
It's not quite Dr. Pepper.
Oh, Bobby's taking it to the paint, and he got pushed, but he's not called. He's called a charging. That doesn't help us.
That's Bobby for you.
Doesn't help the cause at all. He was fouled, but anyways,
It's been a few weeks.
It's been a while, yeah, a couple weeks since we've really had a conversation. We took last week off. Just got to be too much. We were going to do a Tunes and Brews episode. You listened to the album I picked. I listened to the album you picked. And now we're just too late into it. We can't really give an honest.
I gotta go back and
do it again.
And listen again. And though I will say, just if we want to do a recap on, it doesn't matter what the albums were. This was as close as you've come to sending me something that I will listen to in my spare time.
Oh, really?
There's a few songs in there that were that caught my interest. I like it's more on my rhythm and frequency. So just that being said, when I asked you what you thought of the album, I asked you without hesitation. You want to give a little taste of what you told me?
I don't remember if I said this, but did I say it sounds like depressed Hawaiian music?
You didn't say that.
Oh.
You said, no, sir, I do not like it.
I don't like it, but that's all right.
Now I'm going to have to listen to it again with that in mind, depressed Hawaiian music, because There's a chance that that actually is quite accurate now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I got. No, it was a weird weekend. I had to go to the west side of Minnesota, closer to North Dakota, for my grandma's funeral. My grandma passed away December 23rd, and we now got to the point where we could have the funeral. It's strange. It's strange once again to be in a situation in which a family member has passed away. This one, and I don't want to sound insensitive, but this one feels a little more natural, a little more in line with the way it's supposed to be than it was with my dad. Which I think makes sense, right? You kind of at one point in time,
You expect it with a grandparent,
right?
You know,
Right.
yeah.
And she lived. I mean, she was in her late 80s, 89, I think, 88
Good
or
run.
89. So it's a good run. I saw her last winter when she was in the hospital. I got to see her one more time and all that kind of stuff, and got to like she really kind of broke down some family history in her time in the hospital with me, and it was nice to get that chat, I guess, and kind of see a side of my grandma that I didn't see before. But it's just such a different world, such a different aspect. When my dad passed away, we had the celebration of life, but it was more just like a people hanging out, eating food. We drank some bourbon. We looked at pictures, that kind of stuff, right? There was no like actual ceremony by any means. This case is a lot different. It was in a church. There's all the stuff. We're singing the hymns and all the stuff. And I didn't. It was just like I was in a weird space, a weird headspace, because I'm kind of like thinking like, what are we gonna do when I die? What do I want when I die? Because I've been to a couple funerals in my life, right? And I've seen the way it's done on the religious side. I've seen the way it's done on the non-religious side. And it's like, what really do I want when I die? Do I want people that didn't necessarily know me coming to this thing? Like, what is it do I want? And I still don't know that I have an answer. I think eventually I do want to get cremated. Why not? You know, spread me around my favorite breweries. Sprinkle me in the beer garden or something like that. But I don't know. Have you ever had to think about that?
Yeah, I think about it all the time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Um, but I'm pretty sure I know the way. As if I go out in an accident type format or whatever, where it's like I get hit by a bus
Yeah,
or whatever.
the burning vehicle does the cremating for you.
Yeah, that's a little
That's cheaper.
tricky. It's a little tricky for me. Yeah.
Why? You don't want to be cremated?
Well, my ideal way to go is to walk out deep into the woods, take myself out and have a sign around my neck that says "You're welcome." Just for the person that finds me.
That's fucked
They get a
up.
little chuckle out of it.
I don't know that they would.
There's no burden on anybody. Like
I
I'm already decomposed, and
actually think that they would be like, "What an asshole." They stumble upon this and like, and it's they're saying you're welcome. I now have to deal with this stranger that I've stumbled upon in the woods.
Dick, what can
says
I say?
You're welcome to me. No, now not only do I have to deal with this in real time, but now I have to live the rest of my life with. I stumbled upon a dead body while going on a brisk hike, trying to elevate my heart rate and feel good about myself, and I saw this dude, just dead, all over, big mess. I don't think
Maybe you're right. I'll put like some contact stuff on the back so that they know who they can call my family and
She
stuff.
cheated. My bad.
And then I'll be a real like here's a bunch of chores you got to do.
This is fuck mom. Tell her this, please. Like, yeah, handle this.
Yeah, please, yeah.
For your troubles, reach into my shirt pocket. You'll find a key. That key opens up PO box, right. PO box, whatever in Burbank, California, and then they go there and it's just empty.
No, I'd make it be like in Montana. You get to have what's in there. It's like an old Nike shoe, just one of them with no insole.
Right. But it actually.
But if I get hit by a bus or die of a heart attack or something like that, it is a good question. I guess I just don't really care.
Yeah.
what happens at that point. I know that every funeral I go to, there's a lot of weirdness around it. There's a lot of this, a lot of that. That's like, I definitely don't want any of that hymns and
Yeah.
mantras and stuff. If you want to open the box or you want to have a box there and I'm just chilling in the room, like that's fine, but let everybody do what they want, I guess. Like,
It's interesting, like just the shift in behaviors of people that you've known for a long time in like these situations. And it could be like, I don't really know how to handle this. I don't know what to do. And it's not like that they were acting differently or in a negative way, but it was just like I've just made these observations of like this person is not doing what they would normally do. And
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting. But it also got me to think. So my grandma, she's cremated. She's in a cemetery, in the town that she lives in. And it's like it's interesting. So there's I don't know how else to describe this, but think of it like kind of like a PO box, if you will. There's a big, beautiful structure. Within that structure, there's doors across it, right? You open every door is like a mini vault in which you put.
She's in the mausoleum.
It's kind of like a mausoleum, I guess. Yeah, I guess you would call it that. But she was the first one to go into this one, and multiple people, I'm assuming, have paid for their spot.
Paid. Yeah, those are. Yeah.
When my grandpa passes away, he'll go in with my grandma. She's the first one, and like just immediate family went to that part of it, where they got, where she got put into the mausoleum, into her area, and all that. And then as soon as like the pastor said like the final words, like it was kind of weird, like a big cold gust of wind came by. And it wasn't the best of all days. It was cold, but like I thought that was, I took that metaphorically, if you will. And then it got me to think like, and I don't know why, but it got me to think of like the world of a story, like in which that like this person is now in the remains are in this box. They're in this now locked kind of room to a degree. And I was like, wouldn't it be wild if I could like construct some sort of short story in which the person, for whatever reason, is locked in a room. They can't get out. They continue, and they're just kind of going through the routine, but there's maybe a little bit of darkness. And then like you show perspectives of like, they try to, they have a phone. They try to call somebody, and then like eventually, but they never get through. And then like you show scenes or whatever where a person is washing their dishes and then the light flickers or something like that. But it's like really like they're essentially trapped in this box in this waiting room, and then eventually at the end their partner comes in and then they live eternity together. I thought that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
How do I write that? You're the writer.
That's where I get stuck on the words. I like to put together the plots and all that stuff, and I'm working on the voice of it. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what you need to break down, and this is where it comes into it's your idea. So the writing of it is one thing, but what do you believe happens in that box when your mind is let loose?
Right, exactly.
But trapped in one place. Like it's really like you as the person who came up with the idea has to come up with either are you in there fearful of the darkness that you're in, or are you in there eternally hopeful of the fact that you can build the world inside your head or wherever you're trapped? Like, or that would be the hero's journey, in my opinion, is you start in fear and then you cross some type of a threshold into an understanding of what's going on and how much control you have over it.
Right.
And then you zoom out at the end to reveal that this person is actually just in a casket somewhere, and they're like, and nothing that they do matters. And to me, that would be the fun part. Maybe would be like have this person think that they are changing the world, like they wake back up into, or they like get out of the darkness into a shitty world that they want to save, and they figure out a way to do it. So they're building society the way they want, and everything's going great. And then you like back out, and it's like, oh, nothing they're doing matters in the world that we live in. But then it's like then you can question whether or not the world we live in is real, and if you have if you just decide you have the control over it, maybe you do, and or maybe you don't, and you get to hope for death, in which case you get to build your own world. Win,
What
win.
if we're living in that right now, Rob? What if you and I are dead?
Well, I think we'd be in closer proximity to each other. Somebody fucked up in our burials, you know. Maybe I didn't have the choice to move. Maybe they had to put a highway in.
Well, you put yourself in the
So
woods in
they dug
California
it.
and somebody, and then, I told them you have to find Rob's remains and sprinkle me a little bit over there. So a part of me is with him, but they misinterpreted it and they found some other, some other.
They found
Rob.
there's 4 Rob Phillipses in the town you're in right now.
Is it really?
Yeah. I was always even in high school my my lunch card said Robert Phillips 4.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah.
We have that. Now I've it's like where 2 people have the same name and they specify by grade level.
Oh, really?
Anytime they call, they go such and such a name, the freshman.
Yeah, the freshman, nice. I thought it was gonna be like grade 9.
No, the freshman, or whatever it may be. But
I turned 37.
you did
We wanna
turn
talk about that?
37. Yes, I
Yeah.
text you on your birthday and you ridiculed me. I said
Did
it was
I?
in my phone, and then you're like, "Oh,
I said thank you for taking the time because you're not in my phone and I don't know when your birthday is.
that's fucked up."
I know.
Brooke
Uh,
Lopez
uh,
had a great dunk right now, 90 to 109. I don't mean to interrupt you. There's 1 minute
Fine.
and 52 seconds left in Game 1, and it's looking like the Bucks are going to solidify a Game 1 victory, which is what they need. Game 2 will still take place in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I believe it's going to happen on Tuesday. Game 3 taking place on Friday, which I'm kind of I got to drive to Trevor's bachelor party. So
I thought that I thought people were already starting to come in for it, but
What do you mean?
I just been getting the messages about people with their plane tickets and I'm in a
really?
group chat.
Plane tickets.
Makes me sad.
Who's flying out here?
I think some friends, maybe Adam or I don't know. I don't know.
Adam.
Maybe
was-
I don't. Maybe I misread, but Ryan has to fly out, so
Yeah. Well, anyways, you turned 37. What did you do?
I worked.
That's good.
And then I put just like 20 minutes before I went to Tony's, I put a little thing on the Instagram and that I'm going to Tony's for a drink. Join me if you want. And I'll tell you what, man, the amount of people that came out, it ended up being an all-night
Hell yeah.
thing. A lot of people came that people I didn't expect that would, and they all said, "Oh, I saw your thing on Instagram," and it really made me feel a certain way. It was pretty cool, actually.
That's awesome, man. You know what? I'm that makes me happy because I'm such a self-loathing pessimist that if I did that, I know for a fact that next to no one would come up. You would.
Yeah.
Well, if you were here.
If I could,
Yeah.
now, but yeah, it was, and then so I did that, and then we had some. I had to go down to Orange County the other day
For
with some
what?
people. I don't necessarily want to say just because I don't want to incriminate myself for the future.
Oh.
Because it was an event that I had to go to on a weekday between the hours of 8 and 5. So
Okay.
anyway, we got down there at like 10:30, and some people that went in a different car. They were like, "Oh, we got some vodka shooters.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take some vodka?" So we went and did a couple of those. Then I did a couple more. Then we went and got more, and I spent that whole day drinking straight vodka.
Ew.
Dressed in Coachella garb. I had a backwards hat
Coachella garb?
with my sunglasses. I had a chain on. I had a woman's shirt blouse over a mesh kind of mesh jersey black shirt.
Did you go to Coachella?
No, this event was Coachella themed.
Oh.
So I was just walking around,
What's happened to
pretty
you?
drunk. I don't know what's happening.
What would 22-year-old Rob say to you right now, 37?
He'd probably be like, "Hey, I didn't think we could rock the hat backwards, but apparently."
Is that what it is? The backwards hat is what is the tip of the iceberg. It's not the mesh attire or anything like that. It's the backwards hat. Ah. So it was the frozen the backwards hat that did it.
Yeah. I mean, check it.
Yeah, let's look at it. Was it like that too? Did you wear it like that? Where it's like not like all the way down your forehead, it's like actually up and like almost the mid head.
Yeah, I can't tell right now because like I had my contacts in at the time.
Contacts?
Yeah, I was wearing contacts so I could wear my sunglasses.
You wear contacts now?
I mean, I would be if I didn't drop one of them down the sink and it was my last pair, but
How does that
yeah,
happen?
I can wear contacts.
You're turning into a whole new human. You're
Trying some new things.
trying new things. You're putting the hat backwards. That's not a hat that just is. Was it that specific hat? That you
No,
wore
no,
back-
it wasn't this hat. This hat doesn't sit low enough, so it doesn't
Right.
look as good.
Right, so you can't do it. But you wear contacts now, huh?
I have been, yes, for the last
Man.
few days. Then I dropped it down the drain, and it was my last one. I got to go get some more. I went through all of my samples now.
I think you've the final score, by the way, 94 for the Indiana Pacers, 109 for the Milwaukee Bucks with a Giannis free team. Dame Lillard dropping 35 points in that first half. Dame time, motherfucker. Bobby Portis showed up. He got some points as well, but Dame is really the star of this game. We're up 1-0. We got 3 more, and then we're on to round 2. If we can keep this momentum going, God damn it, we just might have a shot. Which makes me happy.
I think we have a shot.
Yeah. A shot that you won't watch a single game. You
I'll-
have
what do you? I watched us lose to the Indiana Pacers at least 3 times this season.
you have surpassed Burbank Bob. You're no longer Burbank Bob. You're on the verge of being Robert Kardashian right now. I think that's your next one. Is there a Robert Kardashian? I feel like there is.
There is, and he's the only tolerable one.
Did he? Yeah, I think.
Did he aid? Did he aid in a bed? It's possible. It's possible.
Yeah, didn't he have something going on?
He took a bag off the scene when the
Oh.
cops showed up.
Of coke or what?
That's the question. OJ told him not to look in the bag,
Which-
but there's a good chance there's some bloody garments of sorts in there or some things that they were missing from the crime scene.
Was OJ dead the last time we talked?
Not sure. But he's dead now.
He's dead now.
I mean, we can be sure of that. Or can we?
What would you prefer? Would you prefer to have Epstein's list or know the truth about if OJ did it?
Epstein's list. I know the truth about OJ.
Yeah, he did it. 100%.
No, man. I mean, we know he can get away. The dude can run. He has a Heisman.
Well, yeah. Well, the white Ford Bronco didn't get him a Heisman. Do you think there was an uptick in new models
Bronco
of Ford
sales?
Broncos recently?
It would be interesting to see that if there was an uptick in or a downtick based on race. Because that was a very racial time and a very racial thing, and it's like
Broncos?
no, the OJ decision, the trial, like maybe like I don't know a lot, I don't know. Maybe I'm digging myself into a hole.
Maybe.
Maybe a lot. Maybe a bunch of running backs started buying Broncos. That's what I'm trying to say.
Interestingly enough,
And quarterbacks started dumping them off, going, I don't know if I want to be in this Bronco anymore.
I really don't know much about the trial because obviously I wasn't around for
We
it,
were
but a lot of
children.
people watched OJ or the People versus OJ Simpson or whatever, in which Cuba Gooding Jr. played OJ. Oddly enough, he was recently arrested a couple of years ago for some crimes that he committed. Felons playing felons. Wild times.
That's yeah. I mean, and it's like, why can't you give a non-felon actor a chance to shine?
Right. Do you think it's the fame that makes them felons, or are they
I
just
just
felons
had-
that
oh
are
my God.
famous?
I just had this conversation last night
Really?
with a couple people, and my stance on this, and we were talking about Cosby. We were talking about Michael Jackson, where it's like, did these people's propensities to do the things that they did, was that always there? Or was it the fact that they got to such a height in fame that they could point at whatever
Mm-hmm.
they wanted, and they didn't think anybody could ever say no to them, and that their mentality changed to the point where it was like, doesn't matter, nothing I do is wrong. I've done so much shit wrong that you guys just let me get away with. I'm not used to being told no, and I'm not used to not getting what I want in the way that I want it. And of course, I'm famous and I'm rich, so everybody wants or whatever. And like, I think it comes later, long and
If you're talking, but I can't hear you. I think it's the powers that be are silencing you because it's insane. I still can't hear you. Do you think your computer acts this way because in a way it's famous? It's
it
famous.
could be. It could be.
Yeah.
Are we recording right now?
Yeah.
Well, let me just finish a short form of that thought. All I was trying to say is that if these things come before fame and power,
Yeah.
that means that only like sociopathic, terrible people get fame and power. Like,
Sure.
so it's in my opinion that it comes after. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
So let's try and hand this back off to the good Mike. Yeah, jump back to the computer. Obviously, I do not condone the actions, the personal actions of Cosby, of Michael Jackson, of Hitler, of Mussolini, of any pick any person that's had power any time. The things that they do behind closed doors, I don't condone what they are.
Well, interestingly enough, Michael Jackson was never found guilty of anything, as was OJ wasn't found guilty of anything. Actually, he was found guilty of some sort of fraud, tax evasion, something like that.
Yeah.
Not murder, though.
Not murder.
Interesting. And you're in the land of famous people where, maybe they go to get these things.
Okay, I thought it was going to work, but I don't think it's working.
I still hear you. I still see you.
Okay, we're good. All right.
I hear your voice.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm keeping my nose to the ground and my eyes open and my ears peeled. And I know some people that are burgeoning on the cusp of some mild fortune and maybe newfound fame. I have yet to see anything while I'm hanging out with them that would suggest that they are anything other than great human beings. They could be in the Midwest.
Yeah.
And they would fit in splendidly.
Yeah.
They pull out a chair for you. They'll hold a door for you, even when you're beyond the 6-foot diameter.
Well, Jeffrey Dahmer had a best friend, I'm sure.
Yeah, but he didn't have fame. He was just there are bad people in this world that don't need fame and
he's
fortune.
famous afterwards.
Yeah, for him, he got famous in the aftermath. But if you get famous for the act that we're talking about, it kind of it's like null and voids the question.
It was there. It was there beforehand. So therefore, yeah.
Yeah, we know. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
like all things in life, there's a blend.
It's one man's humble opinion, and that is mine, and his computer's dedication to not allow that opinion to be heard in full. So it makes him look like he is a terrible person. So if in the future he ever gets fame or any kind of power, they can point back to this interview and go, he's a monster. And he worshipped monsters, and he clearly wants to be like monsters. And I'm sure that that's what it came across as. But you know what? Take it how you want. I don't condone their actions.
Good. That is good. Yeah, man. Outside of that, life has been... It's ticking. It's going through the motions. Keep on keeping on. Weight Watchers has been going fine. Still trying to. I did gain some weight a little bit over the weird trip because, like, long drives.
It throws off your
it just throws you off, and then but I'll be back to it. My knee's feeling good. I gotta do a couple more days of some working out on it, and hopefully maybe I'll give a run, a shot, and see how I feel afterwards. I think the missus is walking in with the youngest, and I think he's probably sleeping. So we got to be really quiet.
All right. Well, I don't have to be quiet. What am I being quiet
You're right.
for?
You're right. It is difficult having a toddler. It's it's difficult having trying to get them to sleep. He used to be so easy to go to bed. Like he would just cuddle up with you, fall asleep. We could put him down, go amongst our night, go live our life. And he's awake. God damn it.
Yeah, he heard the voice of the soothing daddy voice.
Yeah, it's just it's not the same anymore. Routine has changed. He's a tired guy, but he won't he doesn't like to sleep, He doesn't like to miss a moment of the action in the world. But gosh darn it, is he cute.
Do you think it's a bad parenting tactic to just gently put your fingers, your index and your pointer finger, over the eyelids, close them manually, and hold them closed?
Hold them closed, I would never do. But I actually learned a technique on how to help your kid go to sleep from Terry, from your dad. He told me when Madison was born, he's like, a thing that I did when they were really tired is you just kind of rub the bridge of their nose. You keep rubbing the bridge of their nose, and then they blink, and then eventually their eyes they shut. So that's what I would do. I started doing that with Madison, and it worked. It worked tremendously, and I would do that.
See, that makes me think that I misheard the hold the eyelids closed thing, because I swear he was the one that told me about that. Was just lightly, just enough to keep. You're not pushing on the eyeballs here. You just lower the eyelids. It only takes about 20 seconds before the kid just knocks out.
No, he said rub the nose. That's what he told me.
I want to get him on. We got to get him on the show. We got to get clarification. Is it one? Is it the other? Or is it both?
Yeah, he didn't tell me that part.
When the nose doesn't work and you got the eyes going, they're blinking heavy. Maybe then it's just to get them over the edge real quick. You just close them, bring it down with the.
Well, hopefully, when somebody finds you dead in the woods, that's what they do for you.
Yeah.
But they don't.
I'm telling you that, to me, that doesn't seem like a bad thing.
Being found dead in the woods?
Oh, well, that and the eye trick, I don't have a kid, but
I did the nose thing, and it works for the most part. I haven't done that with Jonah in a while, but yeah, because he likes to chill, but it's wild, man. And then they get to an age where they're like, oh yeah, of course I'm gonna go to sleep. I love to sleep, but it's not now. It's not now.
Yeah. Well, there's something to look forward to.
Anything else you need to talk about? Need to announce?
I'm trying to think. Not really.
Okay. Well, Thoroughbred.
Feels like we should have had more to say after such a long break.
Sometimes life is monotonous, and we just keep on keeping on. It's always
well,
good.
lots happened actually to me or for me, and
yeah,
I just can't remember a lot of it anymore.
That's
doing
okay.
a lot more at work now, and
you got a lot going on. I'm very happy for you. It's almost like all your dreams are coming true right now in the moment, which is good. If only one of your dreams would be to really elevate this podcast into a whole new stratosphere. But
I do what I can, man. You can only polish up. I mean, well, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure. No, you're good. I drank Drastic Measures Thoroughbred. And golly, you know what? I only have 3 more left, but I might have to hang on to it and have one for this first round. Four beers for the 4 wins that the Milwaukee Bucks need to have. So maybe that's what I'll do. We'll see. It was delicious. It was bitter. It was good. It was refreshing. I love IPAs. That was really the beer that I always gravitated towards, especially at the beginning of this podcast. That's changed over the years, but it's, sometimes just going back to old reliable really brings you home, really makes you feel good, rekindles that love that you once had, and Thoroughbred did it. It's delicious. I love me a hazy, And this was a good reminder and a good rekindling of that love. So thank you, Drastic Measures, in tiny town Wadena, Minnesota. How was the Vienna?
The Vienna is good. I mean, it's definitely got a lot going on. I mean, what's weird is if you called this like a Helles lager, I would, instead of an amber,
Believe
I
it?
wouldn't. No, I would. It's definitely got like it's got that like crisp sweetness that a lot of Helles lagers have. That it's it's got there's like a hint of a berry flavor in there. There's the you can taste the I don't know what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
good. Drink it.
That's all you can.
It's I'm sorry. I started it with mimosas and then moved on to this beer and then another beer.
Mimosas?
Now I'm on this beer.
Well,
Brunch, dude.
yeah, the brunch will do it. The brunch will do it. Well, if the world
But
ends,
the sweetness in here is really is perfect, and it's a very light, refreshing, crisp beer that it's not, it's like I don't drink a lot of amber ales, but this does have a Helles feel to it. So if you like that, go for it.
if the world were to end tonight, Rob, the state of Wisconsin will be on top because they're 1-0 against the Indiana Pacers. You and I would be on top because we have just drank some refreshing beers and are getting ready for another, hopefully, decent day tomorrow. And you know what? We would just, Dudes with Brews would be on top because once again, we've provided content for our loyal, noble listeners. And we keep on going. We're going on almost 7 years of this podcast, which is a feat in its own regard. And it's a beautiful thing. Every episode is one step closer to uniting the world through the Porch Pint Society. And damn it, we're going to be there when it happens. Buy our merch, for God's sake. Follow us on Instagram. Like and subscribe on our YouTube, even though our YouTube is only audio. So really, what's the point of subscribing to it? I don't know. Maybe one day we'll go to video. Probably not, though. And then follow us on Instagram, Dudes with Brews Pod. Go to our TeePublic, buy a Porch Pint Society shirt, a Dudes with Brews shirt, a Strange Brew shirt, any shirt you want. It's on there. Get it. Support us. We're independent. Fuck Joe Rogan and fuck all those famous people who just start a podcast for the fuck of it. We were there before them, and damn it, we'll be there afterwards too. Dudes with Brews on a porch.
End it.